This is World History. In case you forgot what class you were in, this is the first and last video of the final week of online classes. This will be a short video since Roman numeral 4 is pretty short. Hopefully you've turned in your week 7 packet, got everything taken care of. The only thing that you are responsible for in this week 8, this final week, is the chapter 22 test. Probably could have assigned more work, homework just to add to it, but no, it's finals week. Let's just focus on one thing. So all you'll have to do is to take the test. Well, before you can take it, you need to know what the consequences of World War II was. So let's get into it. The consequences of World War II have affected the course of history ever since that time. Letter A. First of all, World War II has proven to be the costliest war in history. The financial cost reached approximately $1.5 trillion, a huge amount for the 1940s, and 4 times more expensive than World War I had been. Also, concerning the cost of human life, over 40 million people died, more than double that from World War I. Letter B, another consequence of World War II was it transformed the political, social, and economic situations in Europe. For example, number 1, Germany and Italy collapsed post-World War II. Both countries experienced physical devastation, shattered morale, and financial collapse. The victors had little better to brag about. Britain and France were no longer world powers. The same destruction, financial weakness, and sense of despair hampered their recovery. Britain and France would also lose prestige and income through the breakup of their overseas empires. The history of these world empires established in Europe will all begin to fall apart in the years following World War II. Letter C. Number 3. Eastern Europe came under Soviet control. All of Eastern Europe, including the eastern half of Germany, became a part of the Soviet Union. Western Europe was exhausted, and Eastern Europe was enslaved. And both sides were too tired, war-weary, to worry about another war. Oh boy, say that 5 times fast. Letter C. Another consequence of World War II was that the world was divided now into 2 groups, led by 2 superpowers. Those countries being the U.S., the United States, and the USSR, the Union of Soviet Socialist Republics. In the West, the U.S. became the predominant world power, dedicated to preserving peace and freedom. In the East, the USSR became the leader, seeking to expand its totalitarian influence and stir up revolution around the world. That competition between the 2 sides is referred to as the Cold War. If you need a definition for the Cold War, these 2 rival camps, the US, USSR, entered a period of tension known as the Cold War, which would last until the end of the 20th century. If you want more information about what the Cold War was like, please refer to the next chapter in the book. Unfortunately, we don't have time to cover it this year in history class. And then lastly, letter D, we have the creation of the United Nations. At the Yalta Conference, the Big 3 announced that a conference of the United Nations would meet in San Francisco in 1945. In June, 50 nations signed a charter that established the United Nations as a permanent organization. So in case you need to know what the UN is, it's an international organization designed to promote peace. It's still around today. The goal of the UN idealistically hoped to save succeeding generations from the scourge of war. The UN would soon demonstrate the inability of man to establish lasting peace through his own efforts, but the fact of the matter is we haven't had World War III yet, so I guess you win some, you lose some. For the last time this school year, let me say that, my students, is the end of the notes. Now, you just have the chapter 22 test that you still need to take. Please make sure that you take the test. Turn it in with your last week's packet. Also, please return your textbook that you've got and held on to this entire year. That would also be awesome. I hope you all have a good week. Hope you enjoy the weekend. Enjoy your summer vacation. And always make sure that you be good, do good. Bye.